many times have we been here?
What are you not telling me?
Hey guys, hope you're going well. Let's talk about the action science fiction film Edge of Tomorrow. So Warner Brothers just threw a casual, $178 million to director Doug Liman to make this film. This director has been very confident with action and science fiction in the past. He did Fair Game, he did The Bourne Identity, the first one, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and Jumper in 2008. So with this film I did have secretly very high hopes. It is based on a Japanese property called All You Need Is Kill, written by Hiroshi Sakurazaka, which I haven't read but I really want to. So I did have high hopes for this film. I was hoping it wouldn't be just, a straight cut and dry Hollywood action. I was hoping that they would incorporate some more layers, some more levels, and really delve into it a little bit more. Thus far I felt like the summer blockbusters have been quite superhero orientated. We kicked off the summer with Captain America, the Winter Soldier, then we had Sony's The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which was didn't really like that one. And then of course just last week X-Men Days of Future Past, which was really cool, and then Godzilla, and yeah, it's all been very superhero, very action. Oh, I'm forgetting the only science fiction film that's really come out this summer has been Transcendence. I reviewed Transcendence, you can see my review here, I'll just leave a link, and I was really harsh and mean to that film. I've got to say I didn't quite like it. So that's why I had very high hopes for this science fiction film, because I do really like the genre and I was very intrigued about the whole story and concept of it. So let's talk about the story. The story follows Officer William Cage, who is fighting a losing battle against this invading alien army. Humanity is basically on the brink of extinction. It is like an all or nothing type of deal. So Officer Cage is on the battlefield and fighting in the final assault against the aliens when he becomes caught in this time loop, and he figures out over the replaying of the time that every time that he dies he is sent back to the previous day and he has to live it all again. So he's caught in this continual loop, and he comes across Emily Blunt's character Rita Vratrusky, who is this really awesome, kick-ass, highly decorated soldier. In fact, she's like the poster girl for the whole campaign against the aliens, and she tells him that she knows what he's going through. She's experienced the exact same thing. So they team up together and find a way to utilize Cage's gift to defeat the aliens. There is a lot of things I like about this movie. It is really good fun, and it's fun despite its very serious theme. I mean, this is like the end of humanity. This is an all-out war for the survival of our species, but they've found a way to keep it human. So by focusing on the human characters, that being the characters Cage and Rita Vratrusky, by focusing really taking an eye and focusing on them, with the aliens being more of a peripheral sort of deal. So the aliens are there, but they're not our focus. Our focus is on the humans, and by doing that they just create a really nice story. Can I also just say that there is a really cool montage scene at the beginning of Act 2, which I usually cringe big time when I see montages. Like, they usually just never work for me. But this one is done really well. I was totally impressed. Like, it happens just at the point where Cage is learning the limits of his abilities, and each day he teaches himself to fight. Like, little bit by little bit he's acquiring more and more information of what he's going to do and the plan of attack he's going to make. And the way they do the montage is because, he has to die at the end of every day, and they pack, I don't know, like what, 50 plus days into only a few minutes, and it's just done really well, and I was totally impressed by how snappy and they just kept it moving. I definitely need to point out the performances. I thought they were really great across the board, and especially Bill Paxton is one of the sergeants in this. I was like, WTF. I watched the whole movie, I did not even recognize him. I just found that out when I was on IMDb like a couple minutes before filming this. That is really cool. That is so cool when you I know him as an actor, and I watched that whole movie and I did not even recognize him at all. I always think that's really fun when I find that out. And then secondly, I just have to like give a little quick shout out to Kit Gurry. He is my homeboy from Melbourne, Australia. I thought it was cool to see him in this movie, and it was cool that they didn't, like, they gave him an Aussie, like they let him do his Aussie accent. They didn't make him do an American accent. So I thought that was cool too. Now, of course, Tom Cruise, the star. I have been pretty harsh on Tom Cruise lately, I admit. I did not see his last two movies on purpose. I did not see Oblivion. I did not see Jack Reacher. I've been a bit dismissive of him, I'll admit. But this film just showed me that I was wrong, and that he is every bit an absolute Hollywood leading man star, and he carried this movie on his shoulders and did an awesome job, and I will admit that I was wrong. And then of course I really have to quickly say Emily Blunt. She is absolutely badass and she rocked this movie, and she has come the furthest way since being that uppity New York mean girl in The Devil Wears Prada. She is so incredibly cool and I love her and everything she does. Hashtag Girl Crush Wednesday. The aliens I thought were cool. They were only seen like incidentally when the humans were kind of being involved and seeing them. We didn't like see stuff separately or anything from their point of view, which I thought was great, you know, so I thought that was done very tastefully and cleverly. In terms of what they looked like, I was kind of thankful that they weren't overly humanistic. They weren't like deformed, human, mutilated type forms. I feel like I've seen a lot of that lately. These guys are kind of like more spidery, roly-poly, vicious little beast type things, and they probably could have been more terrifying. They were more aggressive, if anything else. To wrap this up, the end of the movie was kind of cliched. You know, once you kind of think you know where they're going, that's where they kind of go. But, you know, I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. And the very end was kind of punchy as well, which is cool. I have to mention as well, the romance was not overplayed. It wasn't sappy, which I am so thankful for. I mean, I would have been really annoyed if they like went hardcore with the romance, because the day is happening again and again and again, right? So he is meeting the Rita character every day, and every day he meets her, it's for the first time in her eyes. So if she had like fallen for him like head over heels, I would have been like, oh, come on, she just met this guy. Like, in her mind, she literally just met this guy, even though for us on screen we've been seeing them together the whole movie. Overall, I thought this was a really great summer movie. In fact, I would go as far as to say it is my top action blockbuster for the summer thus far. Have you seen Edge of Tomorrow? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. I'd be really interested to know what you think of it and how you think it is standing up right now against the other blockbusters that we've seen so far. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I look forward to putting out more movie reviews, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.